So I've had some questions from folks about 3D printing and kind of what the process is. I want to go over kind of the simplest thing, which is printing out an existing model. There are tons of these 3D models available. One great place for looking for them is Thingiverse. So the other night I was looking through and I saw this clock that seemed quite interesting. So it's like a glowing thing, but this animated GIF down here shows it better. Let me go down here. So it uses a piece of glow-in-the-dark material and an infrared LED, and it draws the time on the side of the clock. So I thought that was kind of neat, kind of interesting. So this person has made these parts available. They've designed it and then made the parts available. So the first thing you do is you go into the thing files, and it has all the different bits and pieces that go into this. Some of the projects are very simple. It's just one file. Some are many files. This one's many files because it's going to be assembled. So I downloaded this as a zip, all the files together. So once I've got these, think of these as compiled design files. They're ready to print. So then once I've got these, I go into my tool, and I use a tool called Simplify 3D. It is not cheap. It's about $150, but it saves so much aggravation. The open source stuff is great. I happen to prefer this commercial software. You have three parts. You have models, processes, and then you have this big display here. Models are the different models that you can import. So let me do that. And let me, I'm going to do arm number 4 just because I want to. And you can see it's dropped the part onto the bed. The bed is circular here because my printer that I have set up is a circular Delta printer. So now the part's there, and you can move it around, but it looks fine the way it is. Next is the process. The process settings, this is where you really get in the nitty-gritty. We can go to the most basic. What you're telling it is, this is my printer, this is the material I'm printing with, this is the print quality, and this is the infill percentage. Infill is how hollow you want the part to be. So 100% infill would mean it's completely filled. 0 would mean it's a hollow part. Raft is terminology that you see all the time. It lays down kind of a throwaway layer at the very bottom to help with adhesion. Support is another term you'll see a lot. This is when you have overhanging parts. It'll droop down because the plastic doesn't have time to cool, so these supports do what it sounds like they support it. So right now I'm just going to leave it at basic. There's a lot of power behind it for tweaking stuff, but this is a simple intro. Then I hit prepare to print. And what this does is it shows me a graphical, and I can even have it play a little video of how it's going to build this part. So let me slow this down a little bit so you can get a better idea, because it doesn't go that fast. So that's how it's going to build a part from the base up. According to the build statistics, it's going to take about 6 minutes for this part. And at this point, I'm going to hit the begin printing over USB, at which point it's going to start heating up the extruder and the plate. So I'm going to have to switch to a camera for that. So that will be the next video. Stay tuned.